On this new episode of Attack on Titan, chapter 120 and 121 were used for this episode, but chapter 121 isn't completely animated yet, so if you're an anime only, be sure to don't read that chapter or you will be spoiled. Let's begin this comparison showing that on this scene of the manga, I had other perspective, where we could see the face of Carla clearly here, and this other panel also has a change of perspective, where Eren and Zeke are witnessing these past events from behind Grisha in the manga, and in the anime they look at them while being at the front of him. In this panel from the scene when Zeke showing Eren how Grisha used his position as a doctor to get info to steal the power of the founder, I think that the expression of Eren in the manga was better for the situation. In the anime he looks way too calm in this frame, and it even seems that he's smiling a little before he gets into a more serious stare. In the manga, Eren as a child was playing with the hand of Hannes. In the anime instead, Hannes was trolling him with bottle of wine. On this other panel we can see that there's other change of perspective and there's plenty inside of this episode. When Grisha goes to the base of the King of the Wolves, we see a pair of manga panels showing him saying goodbye to the cart driver who took him there and then put his hat back on and looking at the place. The anime didn't show this and skip into the panels where Eren was saying that he can't believe that Grisha could find this place so quickly. When Grisha was looking at the entrance, we see the face of Grisha sideways. In the anime we look at him from the front, and also in the manga, Grisha wasn't wearing any glasses before going down. This scene in the anime had 3 different takes, where we could see first Grisha crying while holding Eren, then Eren staring at nothing, then the frame showing that he was looking probably at Zeke and himself in the future. In the manga we had a panel showing Grisha holding Eren that also showed Eren staring at these 2 mysterious persons that were next to him. That really reminded me of my old days when I was like 4 years old and I used to see people in my room and my parents didn't believe me. But I'm like Eren, you know. In the anime, Eren seemed to be more touched by witnessing so many events from the past. When he's watching his father sleeping, we see that his way to stare at him is different than in the manga, where he seems to be a bit upset with a very defensive posture as he listens to what Zeke has to say. When Grisha wakes up from his dream, asking if Zeke was there, the manga showed 2 panels with Grisha staring left and right, and other one with Eren being speechless. The anime added an extra frame showing Zeke in shock after learning that his father worried about him actually. During the flashback into when Eren was 9 years old, when Zeke asked Eren what is his real plan, the anime shows Zeke and Eren from behind in one shot. The manga instead showed the face of Zeke from the front as he speaks, and when Eren replies to Zeke, we see his complete face when he was talking in the manga. The anime shows only his eyes from a very close angle that looks really cool. There's once again another change, where in the anime Zeke and Eren are looking from inside of the house of Mikasa. This different perspective is because Mappa changed the location where Eren and Grisha were speaking. In the manga they were upstairs, while in the anime they are outside next to a campfire. This moment of the manga kind of disappointed me during this episode of the anime. I didn't really like how they showed the scene with Eren and Mikasa. The manga panel was way better, although the expression of Eren in the anime as he's witnessing that event seems better done than in the manga. This one isn't a really important change, but the kid and the guy that appear in this manga panel are wearing a different clothing than in the manga. Mappa reanimated some extra parts of this flashback, as when Carla is saying welcome to the kids before Mikasa exposes Eren and his plan to join the Survey Corps, because the manga only shows everything from the moment when Mikasa exposes Eren, but Mappa decided to add a few extra scenes with conversations for this episode. When Eren talks about his real goals as a member of the Survey Corps and how he feels frustrated about living caged, in the manga we see Eren with almost no expressions staring at himself. In the anime Mappa improved his face, and Eren from the actual timeline seems more affected by seeing these events. Also he's in front of Grisha, in the manga he's behind him. I don't know if this one is a translation mistake or if they skipped the dialogue, but the manga didn't have the line of Grisha saying that he was leaving because his ship arrived. In the manga Grisha doesn't say anything. We just listen to Carla directly telling him to wait and to make Eren understand. The anime added an extra dialogue of Grisha saying that people aren't beings that must be convinced. By the way, another random observation, when Grisha is about to leave, in the iconic panel where he's staring at the ghost Eren, Grisha was already wearing his hat. In the manga he wasn't wearing his hat there. The manga had a panel showing Grisha getting down from the boat as part of his travel into the King of the World's basement. In the anime this doesn't appear, but it's understood that he did this anyway. This cool frame showing Grisha walking into the building as some birds fly behind of him didn't appear in the manga and was a really nice addition made by Mappa. The manga had 2 panels showing how Grisha opened a hidden entrance. These moments of Grisha going downstairs didn't appear in the anime. In the manga, when Frieda is explaining to Grisha why they must accept their sins and perish instead of fighting against the other titans, we see him staring at her speechless from sideways. In the anime, we see his face from a front take, where we can also see how much he's suffering in that moment. After Grisha replies once again to Frieda, but this time calling the royal family stealers and that they are dooming everyone to be eaten by titans. The manga had 3 different panels showing the reaction of Frieda, but I really like how Isayama was able to reflect her feelings in each one of them, even adding a small silence during the beginning of the first small panel. The anime used just one shot for this, and Frieda's expressions and dialogue felt just boring and really meh. In the manga, after Frieda says that the Eldens should remain ignorant and accept the world's rage, when Eren stares angry at her, Zeke noticed this and says, Eren. The anime didn't show Zeke saying Eren in this moment. This scene when Grisha says that he will eat the founder and end the royal bloodline shows the royal family staring at him, while the anime showed Grisha instead of them. In the anime we see Frieda telling the other members of the royal family to run as Grisha is about to use the knife to become the attack titan. In the manga we see the same panel but from a different perspective and without any dialogue. When Grisha is down on the ground saying that he could never kill children, the manga shows us his face. In the anime they show him from behind. When Zeke is in shock about Grisha regretting his decision to kill the royal family, Zeke wonders how this could happen if the past can't be changed. While he says this in the manga we see Eren from sideways, staring at his father. The anime shows him staring at him from behind instead, and in both we can see that Eren is really angry. Mappa really improved this scene by adding these flashbacks of Eren as he speaks with Grisha, and also different angles that make this scene way more shocking to the watcher, and I'm pretty sure that this was another top quality Mappa animation. When Eren finally convinces Grisha to begin the attack, we see an extra shot by Mappa showing the eyes of Grisha as he's ready to murder everyone. This panel might be an add-on made by Masaru Kitao, that is the animation director of this episode and was very famous for his work inside of Death Note, and it's really interesting to see how the vision of this talented person is able to change and improve some events from the manga of Hajime Isayama. The panel of the attack of Grisha as he murdered every single member of the royal family was censored almost completely. The anime couldn't show all these gore scenes with children being killed by the attack titan, although they still show some of the corpses of the members of the royal family, but not as explicit as in the manga. After Grisha leaves the basement, we see him grabbing his head and moving as he screams, remembering how he murdered children during his attack. In the manga, he says this while he's at the ground being in shock still. In the manga, as Grisha speaks to Eren, he worries if Carla will be safe the day that the walls are destroyed. In the anime, he doesn't mention her, as he wonders why Eren wouldn't let him see the complete events of the future. When Grisha talks to Zeke, the flashback of Eren kissing Historia's hand appear in the manga. The anime shows this flashback of the kiss but way before, that is when Grisha was about to kill the royal family. And to finish this video we have this last panel, that is when Grisha asks Zeke to stop Eren. The manga shows a flashback with the reaction of Eren after kissing Historia's hand. In the anime they added an extra shot showing Eren in a very dark way staring at Zeke, and also the face of Eren after he kissed Historia's hand but from a front perspective. So this is it guys, I hope you have enjoyed this video, and as I always say guys, thank you and see you soon.